Taiwan's downtown area used to be the traditional territory of the Falangao community of the Amis. During the Japanese colonization period, the Falangao Meeting House was built and later launched to the Japanese. After the war, the building was launched to the Air Force of the nationalist government to accommodate families of officers. The Air Force residential complex has now been abandoned, but the land is still occupied by the government.
The derelict complex is covered with weeds that are taller than most people. Elders from Taitong's Falangao community say the building used to be the meeting house of their ancestors, called Sefi in Amis language. The elders say the house was loaned to the Japanese during the Japanese colonial period. After the war, it was loaned to the Nationalist Air Force to accommodate families of the officers. The Air Force residential complex has been abandoned, but the land is still occupied by the government. So Falangao members decided to negotiate with the Ministry of National Defence to get their land back. When the nationalist government came to Taiwan from China, did they bring any land with them? No, the land all belonged to the indigenous peoples. The indigenous peoples had settled on this land a long time ago and rooted themselves here. We used this land. But then our government saw that this piece of land was good and they bluntly took it away. To put it in a nice way, they borrowed it from us. But did they return it after borrowing? No. Legislator Liao Guotong tells the land's history, citing research findings of Li Yufeng, a professor at the National Taitung University. Liao says the study shows that after the war, Taitung city government negotiated with Falangao members for a space to settle down families of Air Force officers. It was agreed that the Falangao meeting house would be loaned for that purpose. The lease stated that the premises would be returned to the community in December 1966. However, the Ministry of National Defence says the land was registered as government property in 1954 in an island-wide land ownership survey. What we have found out is that on April 5th, 1954, the land was registered under the Republic of China, belonging to Taitung County Government and the National Property Administration. The General Political Warfare Bureau took over the land and the rights to manage it on February 5th, 1996. We hope the issue can be rectified. In the past, indigenous people could not read, nor did they understand the law, and none of the documents states their ownership to the land. However, after 3 hours of negotiations, the two parties reached a preliminary consensus. They are scheduled to meet a month later, and legislator Liao hoped that the two sides could resolve the disputes together. TITV Weekly.